Taylor Swift knows she's not Travis Kelce's type, and that's what the album gave me. So not only was the album trash and the lyrics were trash, it gave I'm jealous because I'm not my future husband's type.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Secrets. Before we get into it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like raw, unfiltered opinions and the kind of truth that makes folks squirm a little. Taylor Swift has a new album out, and the reviews are not what she expected. Personally, I don't have an issue with this album as a collective, but that's only because I've never thought her music was that great to begin with. For me, Taylor has always written like a teenager, examining teenage themes in a way I just can't relate to. Sure, she has a few bops I'll nod along to, but her musicality isn't there for me, and I don't think she's as great an artist as she's made out to be. I've always considered her songs mid. The only difference now is that even her own fans are starting to admit it too, realizing she isn't a god, and this album just wasn't great.
I just finished listening to The Life of a Showgirl. I'm a massive Swiftie, okay, massive. That being said, I didn't like it. Overall, meh. Like, the lyrics just seemed so fluff. There was no depth in them. The music itself, I was expecting like some bops and bangers, knowing like this was Max and Shellback producing. No, none of it was like really memorable. I liked Fate of Ophelia, that was good. Canceled had like a nice beat to it, but just overall, it just was not Taylor quality work. You could tell me this was an album of throwaway songs from Lover, and I'd be like, okay, yeah, that checks out.
Okay. Taylor Swift just dropped an album, and I think Swifties have to admit that this was not her best. This album did not land well at all. And you can still be a Swiftie and admit this was not it for many reasons. For one, the album is very tone deaf, extremely tone deaf. There's hella microaggressions in the album, and it just doesn't sound good. It does not sound good.
Wow. Like, this album is actually showing too much of Taylor. And the more I learn more about this album, the more I go, like, do I even like Taylor as a person?
For the first time in years, even some of her diehard fans are calling the album flat, insecure, and just plain bad. And honestly, I'm not surprised, because instead of showing us the life of a showgirl she promised, Taylor showed us the truth. She's not a feminist icon, not an artistic risk taker. She's a grifting, insecure capitalist who squeezes her fans dry while projecting her jealousy and insecurity onto other women. And nowhere is that clearer than in her digs at Travis Kelce's ex, Kayla Nicole. Like, girl, you won. You got the man. You got the so-called prize. Why are you still bothered? Why is his ex even on your radar? To me, that screams insecurity. Deep down, Taylor knows she's not Travis's type. His dating history shows a clear pattern. Most of his girlfriends look like Kayla, not Taylor.
Taylor Swift knows she's not Travis Kelce's type, and that's what the album gave me. So not only was the album trash and the lyrics were trash, it gave I'm jealous because I'm not my future husband's type. You look at his dating history, you see all these beautiful women. You look down her dating history, you see all these mediocre looking men, and then you get to the end and Travis is her best pull. Her best pull. You look at Travis's dating history and she is his worst pull. And she's insecure because she knows that the entire internet, everyone can see that he settled for her looks-wise because she's a very famous singer and a billionaire. Which, honestly, that's game. And game recognized game. So, whatever. But she's very, very insecure about it. And that's all this album gave. Like, I'm jealous and I'm insecure, but I want to have your babies and you're mine and you're so big. And I was just like, is this Taylor Swift or Sabrina Carpenter? And I can't even compare her to Sabrina Carpenter because that would be so insulting to Sabrina, because that's Sabrina's niche, that very sexualized pop, and she eats at it. It seemed like Taylor Swift was taking a page out of her book, but then using like a Blake Lively view on it.
Instead of focusing on her relationship, she's shading his ex in her music, trying to prove she's the better woman. But when you protest this much, it doesn't read as confidence, it reads as fear. And Taylor's new album isn't just immature, it's giving straight up mean girl energy. Taking shots at an ex is weird. Either you won the prize or you didn't. At some point, this crosses into bullying because, let's be real, Taylor has millions of fans and it feels like she's low-key trying to use them to demonize his ex the same way she sicks her fandom on her own exes. The irony? Kayla Nicole is thriving. She graduated from Pepperdine, has a degree in broadcast journalism, hosted for Revolt TV, and covered the NBA and NFL with ESPN and Barstool Sports. She's the one who broke up with Travis, not the other way around. So, why is Taylor at 35 still writing like a high schooler whose boyfriend dumped her in sixth period? It makes her look insecure, especially when people can see the pattern. Travis used Kayla to look black adjacent, and now he's using Taylor for clout. Instead of being secure and happy in her relationship, Taylor is projecting jealousy onto a beautiful black woman who already moved on. Imagine being 35 and still taking shots at someone who didn't even do anything to you. And to make it worse, it's been alleged that before dating Taylor, Travis also tried reaching out to Megan Thee Stallion and Coco Jones, two women with curvy, sexy bodies, sharp minds, and real careers of their own. That's the type of woman he gravitates toward, which just makes it even clearer that Taylor isn't really his type. Her billionaire status is. Or maybe he's just chasing clout. Same outcome either way. And before anyone says I'm just hating, let me be clear. I've made videos celebrating their engagement. I even called out Kayla Nicole when I thought she was being a cruel, mean girl to Teyana Taylor. I'm fair across the board. This isn't about bias. It's about calling it like I see it. And this is Taylor's biggest flaw. She never hides her insecurity. She puts it on wax. Growing up, I was taught, never let them see you sweat. If you're insecure, take it to a therapist, not a recording booth. Don't let the world see you unravel. But Taylor, she does the opposite. She builds entire albums around her insecurity. And when you look at her artistry, it's the same story. She doesn't innovate, she imitates. You can hear it in the way her latest music mimics Sabrina Carpenter's style. Lighter, cheekier, and more youthful, like she's borrowing from the next generation instead of carving out her own lane. And that's not new. Taylor has always tried to absorb whatever younger, fresher woman is getting buzz and repackage it as her own. And this is another pattern with Taylor. She'll pick fights with women she sees as competition, Charlie XCX, Katy Perry, Olivia Rodrigo. But when it comes to men with real power, she turns into a sheep. Remember when Donald Trump dragged her, called her washed up, and jeered her online? Instead of clapping back, she went silent. Call her Mary because she became a little lamb, quiet as a country mouse, more country than the country singer she pretended to be when she first came up and wanted us to believe she was from humble beginnings. That's the irony. She'll claw at women, but when a powerful man comes for her, she shrinks back. It's not empowerment, it's survival. And it shows her girl power branding is performance, not principle. It ties right back to the grift. Taylor reinvents herself to pander to whatever market she thinks will buy. And lately, she's been leaning into this trad wife aesthetic. Remember when she went on the New Heights podcast with Travis and his brother and started talking about baking? Baking for your man isn't the problem, but the way she framed it was calculated. It felt like pandering to a conservative trad wife demographic she knows has money and influence. Instead of being authentic, she shapeshifts into whatever type of woman sells in the moment. And Travis? He shapeshifts too. He's moved from Kayla Nicole, who gave him a black adjacent edge, to Taylor Swift, who gives him billionaire status. He's grifting into her billions, and she's using their relationship and aesthetic to grift into more money and cultural capital. Honestly, they deserve each other. Two pretenders, two shapeshifters, two grifters, feeding off each other's image and the public's obsession. And this is the part that really gets me. Taylor can't just sit her ass down, let people actually miss her, and take the time to grow her craft. She floods the market with forgettable microwave music instead of taking a step back to create something lasting. Look at Adele, Beyonce, even Ariana Grande. They don't overproduce. They take time. They let their artistry breathe, and when they come back, it matters. Taylor refuses, and the reason is insecurity. She doesn't want the younger, fresher faces to surpass her. And because she's already at a point where she'll sell regardless, she keeps pushing out mid-level music at luxury prices. And before anybody says it, no, this isn't about me being jealous of Taylor or anti-white. That's the easy cop-out people throw when they don't want to face real critique. I've celebrated her wins before, and I've called out others when they deserved it. This is about accountability. She's insecure, she's greedy, and she's literally nickel and diming her fans. At this stage, it's not just bad artistry. It's financial abuse of a loyal fan base that honestly needs protecting from itself. And if you want proof that this is all about grifting, look no further than how Taylor rolls out her music. It's never about the artistry. It's about the upsell, deluxe editions, 10 different vinyl colors, endless exclusive CDs, merch drops tied to singles. She doesn't just release music, she squeezes her fans like oranges. People struggling with inflation and everyday bills are handing over hundreds of dollars just to keep up with the latest version. And the sad part, they're not even buying because the music is groundbreaking. They're buying because it's Taylor. It's brand worship over substance, capitalism dressed up as artistry. The worst part? It's happening in a time when people are struggling. Rent is high, groceries cost more, everyone's stretched thin. Instead of showing awareness, Taylor leans into overpricing and overproduction, as if her billionaire bubble shields her from reality. That's why fans are finally starting to crack. They're realizing it's not about art, it's about capitalism in its shiniest, most manipulative form.
I'm so sorry, this has to be said though. I truly believe the only reason that Taylor Swift is as famous as she is because the most average, unspectacular, boring, victim complex, self-absorbed girls who are so hung up on their middle school boyfriend for cheating on them by the bleachers when they're pushing 40 now, they see themselves in her. They're like, oh, that's me. And if she's that talentless and mid and boring, and she's that famous, she's a billionaire, then that means I can do it too. And it's very disturbing. You guys never do anything provocative. You never actually do anything meaningful. You just kind of victimize yourself and cry about boys. The world is burning, babe. Hello?